What's up? I'm Ed and he's Michael. We're Conquer and Hold, a weekly Riftbound show talking about all the happenings in Riftbound goodness. We also stream every Monday at 6:30 at the People's Card Shop Twitch. Come check us out on Monday Nexus Nights. What's on today's episode, Michael?
Today we're still finishing up our card reviews. We're going to do all of the mine cards 1 to 5, and at the end we're going to talk about Ezreal, a very interesting mine champion, and how's he doing. Like all of our other reviews, 1 star is your bulk, 2 stars is niche, 3 stars is a common card, 4 stars is very strong, and 5 will be broken or a build-around card.
So the first card we're going to talk about is going to be Bellow's Breath. It is a 1 energy, 1 power pip action with the repeat 1 energy, 1 power pip. Deal up to 1 to 3 units at the same location.
I think this is a 5-star card. It is so crazy and so versatile. Blue decks have such a problem dealing with smaller units, and being able to deal 1 to a bunch, 2 to some of them, being able to do the repeat, it just has so many situations that it definitely should be in your side deck.
Mm-hmm. It's super duper versatile, good in Ezreal decks, good in a lot of different strategies.
The next card is Chemtech Cast. 1 mana. When you play a spell on your opponent's turn, you can exhaust me to play a gold gear token, Exhausted.
So I want to give this card a 2, solely because I think that the ability to just keep producing gold gear tokens is a strong ability. I just don't think there's that many cards or many decks that can utilize this to its full advantage. I do like that it's a early gear that you can play for Jace decks, but besides that, I don't know what else you can play it in. The next card we have is going to be Cloth Armor. It's a 1 energy gear equipment with quick draw, equip 1 power, and it gives shield 2.
Like all the other weapons, you can reuse this over and over and over again, but the difference between this weapons and the other 1-cost weapons, which I don't like too much, is it has quick draw. So you get around the equip cost, and you can play it as a reaction to get +2 might while you're defending. So I think this is at least a 4-star card because it's a 2 buff for 1 that you can continually use over and over, and it's just 1 mana because it's quick draw, so it attaches itself. Next card is 1 mana, Experimental Hexplate, equip, and you are a mech, +1.
So I think this card is a 1. I don't think it being a mech does enough for anything really, and it doesn't give that big of a boost. So it's just honestly not that much of a powerful card, and I think it's too much of a hoop for not enough upside of it just being a mech.
Yeah, mech synergies are with mech cards, so if you have to make your non-mech card a mech through like this 2-card combo thing, it's just not going to work.
The next card is going to be Forecaster. It is a 2 energy, 2 might mech. Your mechs have vision.
Ed changed my mind on this. I thought it was a 2 because it's 2 mana, 2 might, but I'm going to say 4 because in mech deck specifically, having all of your next drops, like be able to shape the top of your deck with the vision and pick out like you don't want that or you want something, it's really strong.
Also, mech decks are really like an on-curve type of deck, so you want to make sure you see that Ferocious Forerunner on curve immediately all the time. So I think giving vision and giving itself vision is just a powerful effect, just trying to get cards on curve.
Does he have vision?
Yeah, your mechs have vision.
No, does he have vision?
Yeah, it says your mechs have vision. So he himself is a mech, so he would give himself vision.
Okay.
It's exactly like the new 8-drop that comes out. He gives himself ganking and deflect.
Okay. 2 mana, repeat for 2, reaction, Frigid Touch. Give a unit -2 might this turn.
I want to give this card a 4. It is a cheap battle trick with no power pip, so it's very, very, very versatile. I like that you can spread out the minusing, but importantly in decks like Ezreal, being able to double target is really strong in being able to draw, and it being a reaction, being a little tricky, makes it really strong. The next card is going to be Plundering Poro. It is a 2 energy, 2 might unit. When I conquer, play a gold gear token, Exhausted. It's also a pirate.
I think this is at least a 4, and you place in like every blue deck. It's a 2 for 2, which is very competitive, and when it conquers, it gives you a gold gear, which in specific decks, when your champion unit needs 1 power, being able to get that with an early 2-drop and then like play your Ezreal with that gold token is so crucial to not be able to, you know, like tempo out for the rest of the game. So I love this card a lot. 2 mana, recycle 3 Premonition. Reaction, draw 3 cards.
So I want to rate this card a 3 solely based on the power level of this card. I don't know what deck would necessarily play it, but just having a reaction speed draw 3 is really powerful. Sure, the 3 recycle cost is a, deep cost, but I feel like Premonition would be best activated like in the late game or near the late game where the recycle cost is negligible and you'll still be able to cast your cards next turn. It's kind of like this late game one of refuel card.
Yeah, I think the argument where you play it as a late game drop and refresh your hand is it's how you have to think about this. You're not playing this mid game. It's going to lose you the game.
You're not going to use it to accelerate yourself to draw more cards.
3 mana, 1 might, 3 power, Aspiring Engineer. When you play me, return a gear from your trash to your hand.
So I'm going to rate this card a 1 simply just because it's a little too slow. There's not enough homes for it. And the gear you're adding back, you're not necessarily paying for the card. So, I mean, you have to still pay for the card. So I don't know how efficient this card is. The gear you have to be adding back has to be something insane for it to be worthy of it. And I don't know if you could even play this card on curve because, 1, it deramps you, but 2, what gear are you going to have in the graveyard at that time?
The only situation I can think about this is if, like, you've used the Poro, you got the extra gold, and then you use, like, a cloth armor on something, and the cloth armor dies, and you get it back. But I feel like even in that dream scenario where you get to pay the gold for the power and you get the cloth armor back, it's still not even that useful. 3 mana, 3 might, Bubblebot. When you play me, ready another friendly mech.
I want to say it's 4 stars. I think this card is a auto include in any super mech heavy deck. I know sometimes a lot of the Kaisa decks aren't incredibly mech heavy, but I'm a big fan of the mech synergies just because it gives a lot of trickiness, a lot of accelerated units and ganking, and Bubblebot just being a 3 energy, 3 might unit that is good on curve, but also has the potential to just give a unit accelerate is super powerful. Then we have Card Sharp. It is a 3 energy, 3 might unit. When you play me, you and each opponent may play a gold gear token exhausted. For each opponent who did, you may play a gold gear token exhausted.
It's a 3-star in a solo game because it's 3 mana for 3 might, and you're at least getting 1 gold gear token. If your opponent wants to get 1 too, then you get to get 2. And obviously, the deck you're playing this in, you can use it better because you're going to have a lot of power costs and your opponent might not. I just like that it's also another card for multiplayer, even though we haven't seen too much multiplayer games yet. It's just cool that they're adding these text boxes that allow for good single-player games, but also allows for a multiplayer experience. 3 mana, 3 might, Frostcoat Cub. You may pay 1 additional power as you play him, and when you do, you may minus something by 2 might for this turn.
So I think Frostcoat Cub is just the bare minimum of just an okay card that you can potentially play in your deck. I want to rate it a 3 just because it's a 3 energy card. You can play it turn 2 just as a way to just apply pressure onto the field. But it's one of these cards that you can play later on in the game that can have additional value if you pay the energy cost. So I think it's a solid card. I don't know if it has a home or anything like that, but it has a lot of cool synergies with just like minusing stuff. Then we have Hextech Anomaly. It is a 3 energy, 1 power pip. With reaction tap it, pay any amount of energy to add that much energy.
We're too early on in the game for us to truly experience how broken these type of cards can be. Right now it's a 1-star card because early on in Riftbound there's not too many, infinites or crazy combos that you can actually do. But later on, when you're able to actually get a 24 mana turn or something wild, then we can really see how good this card is in a pure combo deck. But right now, it's garbage.
Yeah, but I'm a big up on this card just because, yes, there is no big crazy win con that we can just play yet. But just if you play this card on curve, your next turn, you have infinite mana. You have like 10 or 8 mana, and that's a lot. So I like this card, but it's one of those, it doesn't have a good deck yet. Maybe an Ornn, who knows?
We have a 3 might, 3 mana Pickpocket. When you play me, kill a gear with energy no more than 1 cost, and if you do, you get a gold gear token exhausted.
So I'm pretty high up on this card. I like Pickpocket a
It's
lot.
pretty good.
It is going to be a 3-star for me. I think you could definitely see some main deck capabilities just because what often happens, what I've noticed in my testing of Spirit Forge, is a lot of people don't play seals, and a lot of people are really, really reliant on the gold gear giving them that power so they don't have to deramp themselves. And if you're able to kind of weave in a Pickpocket in there, it could potentially ruin the curve of their play. So I like Pickpocket. It's cool, but it's not going to be guaranteed in the deck, but I like it as a side deck option. But also it has a cool effect of it just randomly kills like cloth armor or kills, like Cull or kills any seal. So it does double duty on that matter.
A lot of interesting things for the card.
The next card is going to be Temporal Portal. It's a 3 energy gear, and it is 1 exhaust. I mean, you have to exhaust it and pay 1 energy, and it gives the next spell you play this turn repeat equal to its cost.
This is another card where I think it's a 1-star right now. But in the future, when there's like crazier combos, when you can actually get a lot of value off of repeating an ability, it's going to be good. But now I just don't see a home for it.
Yep, I agree.
3 mana, the Zero Drive. Equip. 1 mana, 1 power. 3 mana and 1 power. You can banish the Zero Drive and play all of the units that were banished by this equipment, ignoring their cost. This equipment, when it's attached, it gives that unit Death Knell, banish it. So when a card dies, it has a Zero Drive attached. It gets a 2-might buff, and when it dies, it gets banished. So every card you play, you put on the Zero Drive, equip it, it dies, it gets banished, and then randomly you'll activate the Zero Drive, and you can summon them all back for free. Beautiful.
So I want to rate this card a 2. I like the card in theory. It's one of these build-around-me cards with a big bombastic effect that does a lot of stuff, but I just think it's a little too slow. But I could definitely see a future where this card does some crazy things. And he even can do crazy things right now in Spirit Forge. It's just a little too slow for me.
Yeah, it's one of my, when I looked at Mind, my most interested card, but it's just hard to use.
The next card is going to be Wages of Pain. It's a 3 energy spell with a hidden mechanic. It's also an action, and it deals 3 unit to a battlefield to play a gold gear token exhausted.
This is a 4-star card. It's an action, deals 3 for 3. You get a gold gear to, help your curve, and it's a hidden as well. It's just very versatile, very strong. 3 mana, World Atlas. Equip for 1 blue. When I hold, play 2 gold gear tokens exhausted plus 2 might.
I want to rate this a 2 because it gives a good boost to the card, but I don't know if getting 2 gold gear tokens exhausted is enough for an effect by itself, including with just the 2+ might. How do you feel about it?
It's a lot of gold gears. Like, I like the 2. Like, if you get this 2 turns in a row, you get 4 gold gears. The might is on the tinier side for a 3 mana play. It's interesting though. Yep. 4 mana, 1 power, 4 might, Bard. You may exhaust your legend as an additional cost when you play Bard. If you do, then you can move any number of your units to open battlefields.
So I'm really excited about this card, 1, because I love Bard. He's one of my favorite supports to play. But also, 2, it's like a super, very flavorful card. He's teleporting you to different battlefields. But 3, this card just seems nuts in a vacuum. I just don't know if there's a home for it just yet. I can't wait for the Legend Bard. So I would just have to rate it a 3 right now. It's a very tricky card, but I don't know what you could necessarily use it in just right now.
For me, all of these 4 mana cards with a power just are so much worse than if they didn't have that power. I would absolutely love Bard if he had no power cost, but because he does, I just don't like him as much as I should.
The next card we have is Drop Border. It is a 4 energy unit, 4 might. When you play me, if you control 2 or more gears, ready me.
This is a 4, even low 5-star card. It's a 4/4 with no power, how I just talked about how I didn't like Bard. Complete opposite. I love this because it has no power, and if you have 2 gold gears or like a cloth armor, it comes in with Accelerate. So it's a 4/4 coming in with that free ready. I love this card.
It's broken.
Next one, 4, 1 power, 3 might, Ezreal. When I attack or defend, deal damage equal to my might to an enemy unit here, but he does not deal combat damage. For 1 power, as an action, you can dash him back to your base and dodge incoming attacks.
So I want to rate Ezreal dashing a 3. I think this card is one of those cards where when it gets going, it's so powerful, being able to kind of wind up rabbit, dodge in and out of battlefields, make sure it survives. But it's one of those cards where if it doesn't get going, if you don't build your deck around it, it's not that powerful. So as of right now, I want to say it's a 3, but I love Blue Ezreal. He's so fun.
If you build your entire deck around Ez, he's going to pop off, but just throwing him in a random blue deck is tough.
The next card is going to be Jace, Man of Progress. It's a 4 energy card with 4 might. When you play me, you may kill a friendly gear. If you do, you may play a gear with an energy cost no more than 7 from your hand this turn, ignoring its energy cost.
I think Jace is definitely a 4-star card or up. He's 4 mana with no might, and even if you're getting like you kill a little gold gear and you get to get like a 2 mana card or a 3 mana card, it's just a nice like increase in value every turn. I think that if you build your entire deck around him, you're going to be really sad because it's kind of just not.
It's really hit or miss.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. But if he's just there and sometimes does this cool effect, then he's cool.
When the legend comes out, I think this card potentially is going to just make waves because having this access all the time is going to be so good.
I agree, because then you could have like extra copies in your deck, but you build your deck to have all the big gears, and like who cares about the other spells, and you get to play Jace on 4, and then you get to like tempo out the gears. But now you have to play this game of like you can't have too many gears. You have only 3 Jaces. Like what are you going to draw, like 50 gears?
Yeah. As of right now, Jace is inconsistent, but once we get the champion legend, Jace is probably going to be like an OP unit.
4 mana, 1 power, 3 might, Prize of Progress. When you activate an ability of a gear, give him +1 this turn.
I don't know why this has 1 power pip. I can't figure it out. It's such a minuscule effect. But what I do like about it is that it is not limited by just one time. If you have 7 gears, you could just keep giving it a bunch of
Gold Gears 2.
Yeah, Gold Gears 2, Seals. So it has the potential to get big, but as of right now, I don't see it. I want to rate it a 1.
Too many hoops.
Yep. Then we have Production Surge. It's a 4 energy, 1 power. This costs 2 less if you control a mech. Then you play a 3 power mech to your base, and then you draw 1.
This is a card that's not in every mech deck, and I'll have to give it a 3 because it's a 2 mana, 1 power for a 3 might mech and draw card, which is pretty nice. That's like a really on-rate stat. I don't mind paying the power for the draw and the extra might on the 2 energy unit, but not all decks play it, so I can't rate it any higher than a 3. 4 mana, 1 power, Rocket Barrage. Repeat for 4 mana, 1 power. Choose 1. Deal 4 to a unit in a base, or kill a gear.
I want to rate this card 4 stars because it's so versatile. Being able to hit stuff in the base or kill a gear is really, really strong. My biggest neg about this card, though, is it's just not an action card, so you have to play it on your turn. But I think the versatility of being able to kind of like double dip and hitting a gear and a unit, like let's say hitting a Guardian's Angel on Irelia and then hitting the Stellar Corn Herder in the back, it's such
cool.
It's such a blowout against that. So I think it's a very solid card.
That's pretty awesome. Kill the gear and then kill the guy.
In the back, that would be the follow-up. So it's very I'm super high up on this card, but it not being an action is the biggest, crime about it.
Or even like you said, the card has the Guardian's Angel on it, and you kill the GA first. That's cool. I didn't think about that.
And then now we have Gearhead. It's a 5 energy unit, 3 might, with Accelerate. Each equipment attached to me gives double its base might bonus.
I read this a couple times. It's so interesting, but I just don't know where you would play it. I'm going to say 2, but the double might bonus on equipment is really wild. So I'd like to be proved wrong because I feel like he could be strong, but I just don't know where you would play him.
Yeah, and I think against decks where they don't have a kill unit spell, Gearhead would probably be insane. It would just be too hard to kill with just damage by itself.
Next off, we have Renata. 5 mana for might, no power. You can pay 1 mana and 1 might to draw 1 card, or you can pay 4 mana and recycle 4 to score 1 point. You can only use her abilities while she's inside a battlefield.
So I would rate this card a 3. It is definitely a build around me card. The only issue is it's only, in my mind, good in a Renata Glass deck because that's one of the few decks that could give you that much power that available. But a really interesting thing about Renata Glass Mastermind is that she combos really, really well with the set 1 card, Heimerdinger. So Heimerdinger copies the exhaust ability, but doesn't copy the whole text of the card. So with Heimerdinger, it has the abilities of draw 1, score 1 point, but it doesn't copy the use my abilities while I'm only at a battlefield. But as of right now, I don't see it being a crazy, crazy deck, but I do like it, so it's going to be a 3 from me.
I like how her tap ability you can't use immediately, but the draw ability you can, and you can use it multiple times if you really need it. So you can like plop her in a battlefield, draw like 2 cards maybe immediately, and then next turn use the score. So she's having a little bit of value, but you mainly want to do the score thing. So it's just hard to, it's really hard to get that to work all the time.
Yep, the next one is going to be Rumble Scrapper. It is a 5 energy, 1 power pip, 4 might. Your mechs have +1. When I hold, play a 3 might mech unit token to your base.
He's definitely a 4. The Anthem effect of everything getting +1, even him, makes him 5 might. He has immediate impact when he hits the battlefield. If you have last turn you paid 3 2-drop mechs. You play Rumble, they'll all get buffed. The hold effect is kind of just like an on-top effect. I would play him even if he didn't have that. That hold effect is really hard. If you get that off once or twice, you probably are just winning the game anyway.
My favorite thing about the Rumble Champion unit is in the early game, you go really wide, you can just play a bunch of mechs, and then at any time, you can just threaten Rumble coming down, giving it +1, and then now because you dump the Rumble, they're all big, but then even now on defense, you get another plus from the Rumble defending, so they end up just becoming really huge. And that's, some people like that Kai'Sa, some people say that Kai'Sa is a better Rumble deck when they play mechs, but I think with Rumble, when you go wider, you get more rewarded when you play it in Rumble.
Then we have 6 mana, 4 might, Ornn, Deflect 2, Weapon Master. I have +1 might for each friendly gear that is attached.
So I want to say this unit is 5 stars. It's broken. It protects itself. It's a win condition, and Weapon Master is nothing to scoff at. What's really cool, it's not just equipment, it's any friendly gears. So every gold gear token, every seal gives it a +1, makes it gigantic. And with the Ornn Legend unit, it gets even crazier. So, yep.
When I skimmed the card, I thought they all had to be attached, but I guess you're right. It's just all friendly, all the gold and everything. Just, man, he's crazy.
The next one is going to be Breakneck Mech. It is a 8 energy unit with 2 power recycle, 7 might. Your mechs have deflect and ganking, and I enter ready if you control another mech.
He's a 4+. He's down on might from a normal 8-drop, but you got to remember in these mech decks, he's getting both Rumbles, the red and the blue Rumble, are buffing him. Rumble himself is buffing him, so he is over that 7 most of the time, and then he just buffs all of your other mechs, so he's pretty crazy. And that is it for all of the mine cards, and now we're moving into one deck review for Ezreal. Ezreal, he has the ability that this turn, if you've targeted 2 separate cards, not targeted 2 cards in general, then you get to tap him and draw 1 card. He's been struggling a little bit in the early meta, but in some tournaments he's been finding success. In this tournament specifically, 128 people, he did get 2nd place. This deck is very similar to the Teemo style we see nowadays, where they are playing all these little tiny battle trick cards, and then they are dropping a Mundo in the late game in order to push on through.
So the cool thing about Ezreal is it plays a lot of, not low impact, but high impact cheap spells. And what Ezreal wants to do is to continually target your opponent's cards over and over again and recruit value from just drawing it. So cards like Stupefied Gust get added value from it. And cards like Rebuke, Fight or Flight, the classic purple suite of just bouncing cards, you get a lot of tempo out of it, but you get the added value of drawing a card from Ezreal. And then the new cards, just like we said, add a lot of versatility to it. So Bellows Breath, Frigid Touch, you're able to just double cast them and just draw an extra card off of Ezreal.
then the entire deck revolves around the purple Ezreal. When you play him, you discard a card and draw 2 cards, so give you some card selection, and then optional additional costs like Accelerate and Repeat cost 1 power less or 1 mana less. If you have 2 Ezreals, then these abilities can stack, which is kind of crazy, making your Repeat for 2 mana cost nothing, or your Accelerate is just free. When you play versus Ezreal, you have to be ready for Watcher to just come out when they have 7 mana, because they can discount it by 1. Another really cool thing that you can do in Ezreal is include Hard Bargain, because he is a purple deck. Hard Bargain lets you counter a target spell unless the controller pays 2 mana. You can repeat this, and if Ezreal's on your board, instead of paying 2, you can pay 3 mana, and then your opponent has to pay 4 mana in order to keep their spell. At the end of the day, you have to have some type of win con, and that is Mundo. Mundo's might increases for every card in your trash, and with Ezreal getting Stupefies and Gus and all those little tiny cards in your trash, he's going to be absolutely huge. In a purple deck, you need some ways for Mundo to have immediate impact. So Tide Turner and Ride the Wind will allow you to move Mundo around. Also, Fight or Flight will allow you to push units out of base or let you move Mundo back to base and let him attack another one. And Fizz and Card Sharp are your mid-game. That's how you're going to get there, so you don't just get completely run over. Card Sharp, 3 mana, 3 might, will let you get Gold Gear tokens so that you can curve on out. And Fizz will let you recast those tiny little spells from your graveyard in order to be able to tap Ezreal. But in the late game, he's an extra Fight or Flight, Rebuke, or Ride the Wind. A really interesting combo that Ezreal can do. Arcane Shift allows you to banish a friendly unit, replay it, and then shoot something for 3 in a battlefield. But when you replay the unit, you get to activate its additional costs again, and you get to use their on-field effects again. So if you play a Watcher, you can accelerate it, minus everything by 3, Arcane Shift it, accelerate it again, and then get it everything another 3. So you can attack multiple battlefields with the Watcher, minus everything by 6. There's just so many cool things you can do with Arcane Shift.
And that's Ezreal. Thanks for watching, guys. We are Conquer and Hold. I want to know what your favorite blue card is. What's your favorite blue card, Michael? For this set.
It's kind of funny. I think I like the Z Drive, or I forget what it's called, but the one gear where you summon all your banished guys. It's pretty bad though.
My favorite's definitely going to be Breakneck Mech. I hate that card. I can't wait to play that with the Rumble deck. So thanks for watching. Come subscribe. Bam.